You are divine. You are a legend. Claim it, claim it, claim it. You are energy. You are a spirit having a human experience. You are a multi-dimensional being. Guys, welcome back to another video on the soulithicshift channel. I am your host, Rel, and I'm having a pretty good time shooting these new revamped videos for this channel. And I have no idea what to talk about in this video, but again, we're just going to flow, and I'm just going to talk about everything that I've learned among the channel. So yeah, remember you're divine. Remember your energy. Love you guys. It's all about love. Let's do this. Okay, so the biggest thing I want to bring to the table when talking about anything that I talk on this channel and something that will help you just among your journey and something I've it's okay, this is a difficult thing to talk about because you have to know thyself. This is why the Egyptians were knowing thyself so important. You have to know yourself. You have to know your limits. You have to know your restraints. You have to know your whatever when it comes to a lot of this spiritual stuff. Because understand what I'm about to say. So this is going to be on the topic of coach hopping and et cetera, and whatever. So I don't know what I'm going to label this video, but we'll see. Maybe it's self-concept and being stuck, et cetera, et cetera. So what you have to understand is you can coach hop. You can use videos as reminders. There's actually a guy that I seen comment on an individual that I'm watching now that I just like to watch to keep my frequency up. Even though, don't worry, I know that I am the power, but it's what you consume. Remember, what you consume and put in your mind daily is going to eventually have an impact on you. That's why the music industry is so big, and a lot of artists are like angels with their voice because it's like vibration, frequency, and energy. So literally, when you're listening to certain songs or the way certain songs influence certain people subliminally and subconsciously and the way the songs are tuned, that can happen. But I want to take down that coach hopping is bad or coach hopping and you're still not getting results and et cetera, et cetera. I want to say this right now. Coach hop if you want and don't coach hop if you don't want. But what I do believe is that you should always be in a constant state of seeking more knowledge, but not seeking in a way where you're just hungry and thirsting or whatever. But it should be a hunger and thirst to better yourself. That's what it should always be. And if you need to coach hop 1,000 videos, do it. I don't think anyone, and don't worry, because I be doing this too, so I don't want to try to act like I'm a saint, but no one should talk down or talk against anyone coach hopping or trying to find the next best technique. Even though I like Eric because that's who I watch, and it's funny when he says like, "Oh, the next best technique, bro." He says he does that voice because he used to be one of those dudes who try to find it, which is also why I want to bring this up. Be one of those people, because what you have to understand is your spiritual journey is your own journey. You're going to go through highs and lows. Don't feel like you're in a rush, because remember, you're manifesting everything. Everything is being created from your mind. It's cause and effect. Cause is the inner world, the effect, this is the effect, the illusion, right? So I want you to understand that this seeking and constant thinking like, I got to figure something out, I got to figure something out, you're manifesting more of I got to figure out. Something that he talks about. Of course, I'm going to be talking about it because I've been talking about it for years, but I want y'all to really get this because this is something I really had to understand, because I would blow up my cousin constantly about like, yo, I get all this, I get this knowledge, I get chakras, I get all this, but why the fuck am I still having issues with manifestation? And the reason I was still having issues with manifestation is because I wasn't realizing how simple it was. You are the one writing the rules. But if somebody, literally, even when people are telling you it, it's so simple that it goes over so many people's heads. That's what I didn't understand. Even when I'm with my, the love of my life right now, she knew about the concept of manifesting before me, but she really hasn't seen it come into play until we've been together. And now she's really seen it, where we did certain things where I was like, there was something going on in her life where I told her, you know what? Let's just decide that it's not going to happen and something else is going to happen earlier. Then that situation ended up playing out. Not only that, she was trying to find an internship. We just started talking like, you already have an internship. Like, why wouldn't you? It just doesn't make sense to not have an internship. Boom, she got an internship, and the internship loves her and everything. And she's doing amazing. And also she even was it got um uh her expertise in art and what she does got her an opportunity to be an illustrator for a children's book. Now, it didn't go all the way through, but it was reality is starting to show her changing her self concept and just knowing things to be fact. And she even went through the motion of like of ups and downs of like feeling like, wait, can I really claim that reality can be like this and all that? She went through that, but then she realized, wait, yes, because that's what you've decided with things negative about yourself. Anyways, I know I went on a little bit of tangent there, but this all comes back to this whole self concept thing and coach hopping and all this. You have to understand what path you're meant to walk in your life is what you're meant to walk. So do not rush it, because you can end up, if you opened your third eye, as certain people say, or, because I see certain content creators doing that now where it's like, be careful about opening your third eye. And it's like, whatever is meant for you to do, you're going to naturally walk that because this is your journey. So don't be scared or oh, if I crack my third eye open, but just be aware of what comes with the things that you're doing, because you are embarking on a journey of self. So of course things are going to hit the fan, but understand the things that happen along that journey are for you. Certain people do get stuck in coach hopping, but that's the thing. Maybe it's necessary for you to get stuck into coach hopping so you can finally figure out what is meant to, what path you're meant to walk for you. No matter what, all the roads are going to lead back to the path that you're meant to walk is your own. But just don't get caught up in too many of it. Funny enough, because it's just funny that he made this video, the semantics of it. And I love Eric, but it's very funny. This is what I mean. This is why I end up stop watching content creators, because here's what happens with me when I start getting in the frequency where I need to be creating again. I notice that the thoughts and feelings that I'm having and I talk about videos end up manifesting through other creators. Like other creators end up talking about what I'm talking about, which if you guys ever heard about Prince and Michael Jackson, that's why if Michael Jackson got an idea at like 3 a.m. and he woke up, he had to go record it because he said, yo, Prince may get this download, because we're a collective consciousness. So it's very funny that now I'm talking about the things that literally I thought about making videos on before. And when I didn't, other creators that I watch ended up making them. That's why I eventually stopped watching creators altogether. But usually when I create content anyways, I'm not watching any other creator because I want to make sure I'm completely authentic. But that his video just made me think about the semantics of it, because people are getting caught up. And yes, and that's why I'm making my video too. People are getting caught up too much in the narratives of everything. Like, oh, I don't want to be doing this wrong or doing that. Listen, you in a cosmic metaphysical duality sense, let me be the one to break that illusion for you. You cannot really make mistakes in a system where you're meant to learn. If you're walking back into total divinity or enlightenment or whatever this is, you really can't make mistakes. Now yes, in a understanding of what the definition of mistake is and the idea that you have to make mistakes and lessons and learn, yes, you can make mistakes in a human understanding, but in a grander metaphysical understanding, you can't really make mistakes because those mistakes were purposeful for you to learn something else, to realization. Like, it's all just learning experiences. It's not really mistakes or proper paths, it's really just your path. you know I'm sorry, but if you look at it in a divine way, you just have to take the duality out of it, because how are you really making mistakes in a world where we don't have the manual to how each of us need to live? There's no set manual for every one of you souls that come here and walk this experience. Nobody else can really tell you how to live your life. That's for you to define. Same thing comes for awakening to your own spirit and your own soul. Like these videos, be careful about popping open your third eye. But if you're meant to make that mistake of popping open your third eye early, then do it, because you have to do that to maybe tell someone else to not do it or be careful. And again, I'm not hating on any of these videos or not talking down on them, because I believe it's all necessary. But I know some of these creators, and even sometimes with vegetable vegan creators, they can like almost be stressing this mindset that vegetables and stuff are the key to enlightenment, when I haven't been vegan a single day in my life. And some of the things that I've manifested and some of the things that I've done would scare and shock the shit out of some of these creators. I'm not kidding you. I've literally gone to sleep saying like, yo, I need to meet a certain individual tomorrow because I'm just tired of this and I want to meet them in person. I don't know who they are and who they're going to show up, but watch, they'll show up tomorrow. And then literally the bridge of incidents led me to, I didn't even want to go to this one function or not function. I said function like it's a party, but this one establishment that my partner at the time wanted to go to. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to go, but screw it. Let's just go. Because new experience, why not? I just said, why not? And again, your ways are not of my ways. You don't know how the universe is really going to bring it because you're just like experiencing wherever you tune yourself to. So we end up going to this establishment and I end up meeting this individual. And when I told the individual what I did the night before, she was like, I'm not shocked. That's the universe for you. So understand your path is your own. You don't know where it's going to bridge you, and you don't know why you may be coach hopping. Maybe you're coach hopping for 5 days, and on that third or fifth day, you're going to get it, lock in, and you never have to watch a coach again. Maybe you become the coach. Who knows? But understand, don't get too caught up in the narrative of all of it, whether like, oh no, because then your fear can, this is why I say your self-concept and working on yourself is really important, because you can almost get into another fear timeline because of how many parallel universes exist stacked on top of each other. You could be someone who hears somebody tell you, be careful about coach hopping or doing certain things and accidentally wire yourself into thinking that they're talking about you. That's why self-concept is so important. And trust me, I know because I did it years ago. I got to thinking like, oh, am I making a mistake by watching these videos? So then like I stopped. But then I actually really needed to keep watching them because then it led me to realizations, or even the fear of like, oh my God, am I doing something wrong because like I'm watching all these different people? But no, sometimes you need a perspective from multiple different individuals to recognize your own perspective. So just understand, if I can get this through, it's your experience. You are the one experiencing this. So you're the one writing these rules. I annoyed my cousin for years about manifestation, like maybe a good year to two, no, a good 3 years, I think, since I was 18. No, maybe 19. So a good 3 years, probably. I'm 25 now, but back then when I first really started seeing that everything was me and everything was me pushed out and all the deja vu, I was telling her, what do I do? And she was just like, you'll figure it out. You'll know what you're meant to know when you're meant to know. And I was like, it felt so fluffy and like, oh, you sound like those monks that are like not really giving a straight answer. It's so metaphorical and like aloof. But now I understand why it was, because when you really tap into this wisdom, a lot of it really is neither here nor there, and it's all like gray. It's just funny because it's like it's you're the one deciding the rules. So I made manifestation hard as shit for myself for the first 3 years I was aware of it. I was like, please don't get stuck for 3 years, but if you need to, you might have to. But maybe I had to tell y'all this. That's why it doesn't feel like it was a mistake. It was just what I had to go through. Again, that also cuts out regret and a bunch of other stuff and feeling guilty for my path because it's not like yours. Like, you have to understand this stuff is mental. Anyways, much love. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all.